Hey everyone, in the beginning there were shoes. Welcome to our shoe video.
Hi.
So we're going to talk about how we have acquired the shoes we're getting ready to put up on eBay, as well as our processes for quality control, cleaning, photos, and listing. So I'm excited.
And lucky you, since it's our first time, we're taking you guys along for the journey. Good, bad, or otherwise, you'll be a part from its conception.
I'm thinking it's going to be a debacle, but it's going to be fun. All right, so I guess we should get to it.
We should get to it. So we should probably prepare, right? Put on the right uniform, so to speak.
That's a great idea.
All right, I'm ready. Is this what you had in mind for protection?
Not quite, but the rabbit's a nice touch.
All right, so you'll be working with different dyes, shoe polish chemicals, so it's important that you put on older clothing, that it doesn't matter if you get it dirty or not, and you'll want to prepare your work surface as well. So, old shirt I don't care about, tie-dye is not going to matter, check.
Alright guys, so you basically need a good work surface to get your shoes ready to be listed and photographed. So we're using this old table. I want to show you what it looks like. Let me just move all these off. These are the shoes we're going to be shooting today. And you just need a big enough surface that you can manipulate the shoes in terms of cleaning them, getting them ready to be photographed. So I'm going to stack all these in here for the moment and just show you. This is kind of an older kitchen table. We don't really use it as a kitchen table much anymore. It's got some scars and stains on it, but just need a decent work surface, somewhere you could put down newspaper or maybe an old blanket or piece of cloth you don't care about. So if you get anything on it, if it gets dirty, if you get chemicals on it, it's not going to matter that it gets ruined. And this table, I think, is probably about 4 feet long by 2.5 feet wide. So it's a good size, but you just want to give yourself plenty of space. So that's what we're going to use for a work surface today.
All right, let's just jump right into our toolbox, or supplies that we're going to use to process these shoes. You'll notice that a lot of them come up in other areas of our business as well. So that's a nice sort of carryover from the other parts of the things that we do. So, natural sponge. Can't go wrong with that. You'll see that we're going to use that for a couple of purposes, actually. Microfiber cloth. Can never go wrong with those, and that's going to help us with our shoe polish and shoe shine later. Magic erasers, I can't say enough about magic erasers. We use them for everything, and you'll find that they're going to come in handy to help us with lots of areas of our shoe processing as well. Yes, these are exactly what you think they are. They are dollar store toothbrushes, and I am a stickler for detail, so these are going to help with some of the soles and detailing of our shoes as well. If you take that up a notch, I've also bought a couple of other brushes that will also help us with different parts of our shoe cleaning as well. This brush here, Kiwi, makes a wonderful brush, horsehair, that will help us actually shine the shoes. And you can find these just about anywhere. Now let's get into some of the chemicals that we use. This leather sole and heel edge dressing by Phoebings, whatever. This will help with the blackening of the shoes as well. Easy Cleaner helps with suede, leather, nubuck. We keep Goo Gone on hand for just about everything. There's a citrus chemical in there that helps get rid of just about every stain. This will help us probably with taking out markers and price tags on the bottom. Febreze is here just because, well, you know, shoes stink. This one's an old favorite that we use for other things as well. If you delete this carpet cleaner remover, it'll help you immensely with different stains. And that's why we have a couple of extra spray bottles, because there's a couple of chemicals here that we're going to have to mix and use them in a diluted form, because straight up is just too concentrated. My little baby scissors, can't go wrong with those. Doc Martens Wonder Balsam. A couple of lighters that will help us with different threads that are on the edge. It's just easier and more effective to burn them off. It also cauterizes the edge so they won't fray. I'm not going to lift these up, but we've got baking soda. That's going to help us with some of the white items that we're going to clean, as will the vinegar, both of which, vinegar in particular, also helps with smell. But we're going to try to source these shoes in a way that we're not going to have to go through the amount of trouble it would take to actually wash them in their entirety and do a full-on stink treatment. And that would involve white vinegar and some other things. So we're actually going to skip that today. This Leather Honey leather cleaner, also diluted, that we're going to have to mix into this spray bottle, is going to be the best thing that we use for cleaning up leather. And hopefully you'll see with some of the samples that we have today what a huge difference it can make. It literally brings leather back to life. And as we come around the circle, the last things that we have are just some other heel and edge. You know, there are other shoe shine. Well, this one's a shoe shine, but there are other dyes and leather polishes that you can get, not just kiwi. But just for this first go at it, these are the ones that we have, and this is what we're going to make happen. Another heel and edge tool, shoe shine, color shine of black, brown, and here's a neutral. So I think that's everything. I think we're ready. And away we go. So welcome to our shoe processing extravaganza. Oh yes.
Gotta find the ones that match.
No, those don't match. So the matches are like on the bottom. Let's do that one first. Are you getting one on deck, are you?
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. So
All right, that'll be it. So that'll be the second pair that we do. All right, so this is a man pair of Cole Haans, and they're a size, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Show and tell.
They're not in too bad a shape. Probably
Nope.
just need a little polishing up. Soles are pretty good. A little bit of dirt on them.
So we have to have something in process for how to clean. And Jason and I were talking earlier, I'm a stickler for Velcro, so one of the things you want to check, because Velcro, one, it tends to break down and stop working once it gets clogged with a bunch of crap. So just kind of take your nail, I've got some tweezers if need be, but just kind of get in there and make sure that there's nothing. And these actually, you're right, they look pretty good. My suggestion would be we only maybe brush them up a little bit, yeah, with that thingy. And then that's probably it. We could use our new fancy Polina.
Yeah, we might want to clean the bottom a little. Mini pearl.
Oh yeah, so we have to be up here for everybody to see it, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
so as you can see, these are in really nice shape.
I don't know how much of this we need to get out of there. I mean, it's not much.
I've seen other shoe listings where they don't get very much out at all. I think we should go ahead and dive in and clean, just sort of give a shine to this.
Okay.
What do you think would work with that best? Our Leather Honey?
Yeah, because these are definitely a leather, right?
Yep. So let's just do it. And look, Jason put a label on it. Leather Honey. Ding! So we'll do a little of this. Are you like leaning back?
Careful, I don't want you to spray it on your phone.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good. So let's just make a look here and see what it looks like. I really hope these are leather, because if they're not, oy vey. Watch, we're using the wrong stuff on the wrong chemical, right?
Right.
So they are a little wet. They're going to have to dry. But they're looking pretty good, I think. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring it around the edges just because I'm rubbing the whole shoe anyway. And these have those little gel things. I think that this would look a lot better, especially in the picture, if that gets cleared up. Imagine like a camera lens. If it's marred or glass gets a fingerprint on it, it's just so visible in your face. So I'm going to kind of take my fingernail, I don't even know if you can see it, rub around in there like that, and then come around the side of the shoe. using my fingernail in the crevices as we go. Coming around, coming around, coming around.
And we can compare it to this one, which has not been done.
Yep, good point. Well, and it's going to need to take some time, I think, because these are going to have to dry. You
Right.
see how they got darker or whatever?
But once you're done, we'll hold them up, and we can see just kind of a nice...
Yeah, and we didn't have to do much with the Velcro on this either, so I'm happy with that. But we'll go ahead and close this one up. Oh, wait, I didn't get underneath there. I'm kind of getting in the Velcro. We'll come around, and the inside of the shoe, I'll just go ahead and wipe it down. And one, you want to get in there and make sure there's nothing hidden in the shoe, and make sure that the sole of the shoe is intact. Because
Maybe we'll find some money.
Yeah, no, but that would be a bonus for me, especially, right? But a lot of times the people will put liners or lifters or de-stinkers in there. And I would want to take that out of there, honestly. Oh, I should say that we probably would not have bought them if they had, because we've run into shoes before where they've had those where they've kind of had to replace the lining of the shoe. And I know that some brands are going to sell well, whether that's in there or not.
So just where it's wet?
Yeah, it's just a wet spot.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's hold them up. I don't know how well you guys can see it. So this one is the one we just did. You can see it's a nice even finish. Whereas this one, you can still see the scuffs. And so
Wow, what a huge difference. We'll see how that dries, but whoa.
Yeah, you can really see it. I don't know how great you can see. There's the side of the one we just did, and there's one we haven't done. You can really see the scuff difference. So just taking those scuffs off is going to make for a much better photo, and should bring hopefully a better value. I mean, it's just, you know, perception is that is a newer looking shoe, even though it's not new.
Holy moly, that's huge.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen demos of this, but I've never done it myself in person. And that's huge. It like totally breathes new life, as we said earlier, into the leather. Can you tell that at all on the camera?
Oh yeah, you can definitely see.
All right, well, let me go ahead and you didn't do that one.
I haven't done that one.
So let me go ahead and do that then, and let's have at it, because that's amazing. No, I got it too wet, I think.
Yeah, and these are Cole Haan Nike Airs, which are, I don't know what these will go for. I know we're getting a little ahead of our video here, but I think they go for a decent amount.
Well, and we're going to cover that when we get to the listing part of this video. One of the things we talked about making sure that we covered, we're not going to do it for every pair, but we are going to walk you through how we look up comps and how we decide, you know, what we're going to list it for, if we're even going to sell it. You know, keep in mind that some of these we bought on the fly just because we knew we wanted that brand. But as we get to some other ones, we're going to show you in the moment, you know, what our thought process was, how we looked it up. Wow, this stuff is amazing. Amazing, I tell you. But we go along the edges. Because these have that cush in the heel, we want to go ahead and clean up that window. You know, a lot of what we do when we're reselling, yeah, and that toe is just going to have to dry. But a lot of what it's magic. Like, I'm looking at that shoe, and even as it's magic. It's magic, I tell you. But even as I'm looking at it, it's amazing. And I just lost my train of thought. Oh, a lot of what we do as resellers, you know, it's some smoke and mirrors, right? We have to kind of clean it up and make it look presentable. Oh, you can't even see that probably. The bottom of your shoe is so messy compared to the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah, I need to do some more work on it.
Well, have at it.
I'm looking up just to see if I can find these.
That particular one? Okay.
Oh, I think they're called, oh, here they are. So I see this particular one. I'm pretty sure that's the same one. Yep, they're the Estadio Strap, and this is a black one, which you can see there. Sold for it's the one here on the far edge. Sold for $75 plus shipping. So I don't know if these will go for that amount or not. But even if they were $50, that would still be a good find, because I'm pretty sure we got them for, you know,
yeah, I'm not sure on that.
$5 or less. So we're pretty cool. Definitely good margin in shoes, which is one of the reasons we're moving in that area. So excited about that.
And we don't really have to do, because these are not a shiny shoe by nature. This is more of an outdoor
Right, it's more like a
active
hiker.
shoe. Yeah, so we don't need to polish this. It's just not that kind of leather. But holy moly, I will tell you, in cleaning it up though, there's a little cut on the toe, I think, of this one. Can you see that? Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be just fine.
Oh yeah, that's barely even noticeable, and it's certainly not a problem with the shoe.
No, but we will draw attention to it. Now the only other thing, yeah, I don't think we have to
What size are
worry
these?
about taking that off. Is it an 8? It's
They're
a
8.5.
8.5 medium.
Are these women's or men's?
Oh, I think this is a man's shoe.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
wear
too.
an 8.5.
Yeah, it's a man's. No question.
So there you go.
So there you go. Not a lot of time. We actually took a long time explaining that. But I'd say if we did it without stopping to explain, how long would that have taken? Maybe 2 minutes?
Oh, if that.
If that?
Yeah. I have
And they're
a lot
basically
of
ready to
this
be
stuff.
photographed. So a little bit of work, but and again, guys, this goes back to, you want to try to buy things, whether it's shoes, jeans, shirts, blazers, whatever. You want to try to buy things that don't require too much cleanup time. But shoes, from what our research has shown, are something that putting in some cleaning time will actually generate a great return on your investment of time and energy. So we're glad to do it.
All right, now that all the shoes have been cleaned, we thought it would be interesting to show before and afters for each pair. And while the results are more dramatic with some shoes compared to others, in every case, they look better as a result. So here we go. The top pair, which is the one we highlighted in the previous reel, is a pair of Cole Haan Country slip-on loafers. And as you can see, they look pretty good. We cleaned up some Velcro on the inside of there, and even the canvas, we paid some attention to that as well, and that made a big difference. Right below there is a Keen hiking shoe, and that one cleaned up rather nicely. Always check the shoelaces and make sure that they're intact as well. Here's a new vocab word for you shoe resellers, and that's aglet. That's the little hard piece at the end of a shoelace that you loop through an eyelet to get your shoelaces laced up in the first place. And here we have some lovely Echo loafers. As you might be able to see, we were able to clean up some white specks, probably of paint, off of the leather there. The fabric is a Gore-Tex, so that cleaned up nicely as well. Just below are a pair of Dansko clogs, brown leather, and they cleaned up nicely as well. It's amazing what a little TLC can do. These LL Bean ski boots were a bit of a challenge because on something used in sports, in particular when the shoe can get sweaty, you want to make sure the inside has not just deteriorated. So we did a little work on the inside, made sure the laces were intact, cleaned up the Velcro, shined the outside. Just below that are a lovely pair of Born mules, and we'll talk a little bit more about these later, but I think that they are the poster children for what wonderful things can be done when you rehab shoes. Just look at that sparkle, proof positive that white tennis shoes can be made bright again. These Vans off-the-wall glittery sparkle shoes cleaned up nicely. Just below there we've got another pair of Born mules. Also did some work on not only the leather but the sole and heel of that shoe as well. Here we've got a really pretty pair of Bjorndal clogs. These are worth noting that I actually used my sweater shaver on the fabric of these shoes to give that threading a new look, and it really brought life again to the color and the vibrancy of that shoe. Just below are a pair of cowgirl boots by Etienne Agnier. These are more for show, as they say. I don't think I'd be walking around in a pasture in those, but we were able to clean those up and give them some sparkle as well. Great find here, a pair of Mad Rock rock climbing shoes. Didn't take too much to buff and polish here and there to breathe some new life into these great shoes. Just below that, an awesome pair of Kenneth Cole Oxfords. These were in great shape, except for, you might be able to see on that front toe a bit of a scuff. We were able to minimize it. It's still there, but shouldn't make too much of a difference in that pair of shoes. I just wanted to take a moment to highlight this particular pair of shoes, as I said we would earlier in the video. And as you can see, it's like we put two different pair of shoes there, a right from one and a left from the other. But I can tell you, same shoes, a little bit of elbow grease, and you'll see in the picture the Doc Martens makes a product called Wonder Balsam, Dr. Martens Wonder Balsam, and it is magic in a can. So if you're doing any kind of leather work, you're not supposed to use it on suede, I believe, but you know, whatever products you use, definitely do a sample spot on the fabric first. But in this instance, I can tell you that we were pleasantly surprised with the difference this made, and I would highly recommend this for shoes and leather that just looks old and worn. This will make it's a game changer. Absolutely love it. So we applied similar processes to prepping these shoes for photographing and listing that we do with other products. And our system is simple. We checked the inside of the shoes, the outside of the shoes. This particular pair of Vans is a great example because they came to us with grass stains, they were dingy, the laces were a little shaggy, and we were able to fix them up, clean them up, and make them look pretty darn presentable. In the center there, we've got some of our tools highlighted, and I probably had way too much fun with the cigarette lighter, also a definite plus for your toolbox, but that helped with loose threads. And the system for each pair was pretty much the same. Inside, outside, edges, pay attention to detail, and once we got through cleaning everything, we were all set to photograph. All right, let's jump right into what pictures we're going to take and why. We decided to take 8 pictures per pair of shoes, and we could have the option of taking additional if there was something in particular we wanted to highlight. So our money shot, or first shot, is this one right here. We combined both shoes in one shot, so we're giving a similar angle, and we're cutting down on exposure by having them both in the same frame at the same time. Next, it's important to highlight the toes or front of the shoe, and you'll notice throughout that we're holding the camera in the same exact place for each shot. Here we have the back of the shoe, also bringing crystal clear focus to any details on the heel or back. This next shot will highlight the inside of each shoe at the same time. We're using an acrylic platform that's set up at an angle, so we're able to put the shoes in contrasting positions at the same time, same frame. And here we have the shoes positioned again where we're seeing the outside of each shoe at the same time. Also remember to make sure that your camera is focusing on the shoes so that you're not getting blurry details. This next shot serves 2 purposes. It shows both the tag or brand name of the shoe as well as the inside integrity. And here you can see that this particular pair is in great shape. It's also important to show the bottoms of the shoe to indicate any wear, especially if it might be extensive. We're also using an all-white background here. That keeps the contrast high, and emphasis is on the shoes themselves, which that should be your focal point when looking at these pictures. While sometimes the size of the shoe can also be found on that bottom shot, here we have an inside shot of the size tag. This can also show the width of the shoe, sometimes if it has a specific kind or make, where it was made, maybe the materials, but this particular shot is showing the brand name as well as the size.
All right, everyone, I'm going to go through my listing process. We're going to start out with a very simple pair of shoes, just kind of show you what we do and how we go about pricing and setting the listing. So you can see here I've already created an entry for this shoe. It's a Born loafer mock toe, leather, brown, size 8. And now I need to figure out what my pricing is going to be. Here's what the shoe looks like. It's this one right here. You can see it's just a nice little loafer, nothing fancy, but just a good little basic shoe. So I did a search. I went into eBay. I searched for Born loafer mock toes, and I put them in as complete or solds. I guess I should do complete as well here. These are women's, at least listed that way. And then what I like to do is I like to go in and I like to do the price highest first. The reason I do that is because it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to sell mine for that amount, but it lets me know kind of what the top of the market is. And with certain shoes and certain items, I'm going to want to be up closer to that top of the market where I start my pricing. Others are going to be more in the middle, and some I might even be towards the bottom. But I highly recommend you do this with especially new listings, new items. I think it's important to kind of understand the price range that you're dealing with. And just kind of trying to figure out exactly where your item will fit in all that is important. So I'm going down through these. I'm looking at some of the solds. This one, these two are not exactly like mine. This is close. This person said 36 bucks, but mine's not exactly like that. Mine is closer to this one where they offer 34 plus free shipping, but I don't like to do free shipping on shoes just because you can definitely run into, a little bit of an issue there. There's a pair that sold for $34.95 plus $10 shipping. They're suede. They're kind of cool looking. Mine are not blue like that. Let's see. What's a good pair that's sold that's pretty close? No. None of these are exactly like it. And that's going to happen especially with shoes or really anything. You're not going to find exactly what you've sold a lot of times. You just may find something that's very close and you're going to have to take a little bit of a guess. These are closer to it. These ones for 27 plus free shipping. Not a big fan of that. These are actually really close to it. They were 49, but they took a best offer. So you figure it probably came in here somewhere in the middle 20s for that range. So that's probably a decent place to start. Let's see. These are close to $24.99 plus $10.55 shipping. So I've kind of got a range here somewhere in the mid 20s, which is a little bit lower than I like to sell shoes for, but they only cost me $3, so it's still a good margin on these. So I'm going to price these at $27.95, and I'm going to do calculated shipping, and I'm going to show you why I'm going to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do after I do that is I'm going to go here and I'm going to create my label with my Dymo 450. And you can see that in the description of this video, how a link to that particular printer prints out a nice little inventory label, which I will use. And now I'm going to go in and take that same title that I already still have copied and just paste it here. And you can see eBay pulls up some pretty good guesses at this. This is basically like a flat or Oxford. So we're going to use that one, and it's going to create the listing. Now it's still got my inventory number here at the front of it, so I'm going to Command X that and paste it here at the back end because I don't like to have it at the beginning of the listing. I'm probably going to type just good used condition here. That doesn't really mean much, but people like to see something here in the condition field. Now I'm going to add my photos. So I've already got my photos. Kaaren and I share the photos together, so it's always easy. So I'm going to select all of those and start importing those. And while they're importing, I'm going to go down here. It gives you some item specifics that you can automatically accept. And I'm actually going to accept all those because they're all correct. Right here, I'm going to put in born. I'm not sure. Let's see what we have here. On the style, we have a lot of different options here, but loafers and moccasins is definitely the best one. Our size is 8. That already came in. The width is a medium. So an M, so we will use that. Material leather. There is no heel. Cajun. Usually don't fill these in. I have some different templates that I use for condition. I can actually use the jeans one here because it's really not for specifically jeans. It just says gently owned, no obvious defects or flaws. And I probably should change the name of that template to something a little more descriptive. So now, if we go back to look at my price, which is right here, it says $27.95. So we're going to put $27.95. And and I'll be willing to take a best offer on these. I will actually take a best offer on these of $22, which is a pretty good deal. That's $6 off, and I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. Down here, I've created a shoe shipping policy, so I'm going to put that in. And the shoe shipping policy, just so you can see what it is, it has a couple different options. It's either parcel select or priority mail. A lot of people will choose parcel select, but it's actually cheaper for you as a top rated seller to ship priority mail, and you can get it to them even faster. So they choose parcel select, but you can put in a priority mail box and get it there much quicker, and actually it's a little cheaper than if you did it parcel select because you don't get the discount off of that. So good little tip there. And the weight, that's a good question. So I've got my Accutech scale over here, which I'm going to use. I'm going to put the shoes in the box and weigh them. And the weight comes in at 1 pound and 3 ounces. So we're going to do between 1 and 2 pounds for the weight. And I think that is everything. Great thing about eBay's listings, by now 2+ your pictures have all come through. We've got all our shots, all 9 of them. And we're going to go ahead and submit this. We're going to list the item. Spin, spin, spin. Hopefully it'll be done. And again, and there you go. The item is up and listed. So that's it, guys. Really simple way to do a shoe listing. Again, if you have comments on this part of it, please leave them down below on this overall video. And I think you'll find this is a pretty fast process. Obviously, the spreadsheet stuff and so on may depend on how you do that. But just being able to drag in a description is cool. You could obviously type it as well. Totally up to you. All right, so that's going to do it for this shoe video. I hope you guys learned something. I feel like we did.
We did, and we had a great time. Processed lots of shoes, and we must have done something right because since we started this video 7.5 months ago.
It wasn't that long.
No, so since we started this video, we've actually sold a couple of shoes, so we must have done something right, right?
Yeah, and I think I definitely learned a lot about listing the shoes too, because quite honestly, learning all the different types of shoes between men's and women's, it is definitely a curve. And I mean, it's going to be like a long process to get that down, but it's a fun journey to be on because it's something new, and that's always interesting, I think.
And there was something very therapeutic about cleaning the shoes and prepping the shoes and taking it from one end to a completely different end with, you know, quality control.
Right.
I really, believe it or not, I really enjoyed that. We didn't really have any bad experiences or have to defect anything, did we?
No.
No. And a shameless plug, you know, in addition to we hope that you'll smash the like button, we'll list everything that we can that we actually used in this video. But this is a game changer. This Doc Martens Wonder Balsam. We'll put it down there. But I love this. I mean, it brought life back to so many shoes. And it's a gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yeah.
But here's the neat thing. So, you know, we might sell a pair of jeans or 2 or 3. This will actually work on jean labels as well. The leather tags on the back,
Yep.
when they look all old and icky. So there you go. Pro tip.
Great product. So I gotta tell you, this video has been a while in the making, and I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope you find that you learned something from it.
Oh, yes.
And I know we did, and we'll keep learning because it's definitely going to be a long process to get shoes, you know, sort of under control and figuring out, you know, where to put them. You can see this is our inventory system so far. It's okay, you know, it's a work in progress, but that's just the way it goes when you start something new.
We're not shoe professionals. We just play them on the YouTube.
All right, so I guess that's going to do it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and until next time.
Thanks, everybody, and good shoe sales to you. Can I do it now? What about now? Can I do it now? Now?
All right. Take 2.
Can I do it now?
Now.
That was better.